All right, in this game, one of the biggest mechanics is the exhaustion system.
Correct.
Correct. Why don't you explain a little about that?
So in this game, we're using a little bit more real-life mechanics where it's not like you can move once or move and then shoot and then do an action or whatever order you want it to be in. In this game, your character has exhaustion, and it's a combination of your skills, and it's how your character tires out.
Okay.
So when your character activates, you can move at any time. You can only move once per turn, though, but it costs you exhaustion points.
Right.
So walking just once doesn't cost you anything.
Okay.
But yet, if you want to attack, it costs you 2 points for depending on the weapon.
Gotcha.
So a dagger, which is small, may only cost you 1. So if you want to attack with your dagger 4 times, if you have 4 EP, you can attack with it 4 times.
Gotcha.
If you want to shoot twice with a bow that costs 2 EP and you have 4 EP, you could shoot with it twice.
Gotcha.
Skills take different EP to use. Some of them are passive, which means they're free to use.
Okay.
There's 0 EP skills, which can be used once per turn.
Okay.
But it all costs things to do. So if you can run and charge, a charge costs 2 EP, but then you get to use your weapon for free.
Nice.
So there's bonuses and positives. You can also push your character if you want and go higher than your EP total.
All right, now how does that work? How does that work when you push a character to go above your EP limit?
Let's say I'm at 2, and I go 1 more. So now I'm at 6. The first attack after that, because you haven't gone too far over, is free, but you're still 2 points over. The next attack is 2 more points. So now because you had 2 more points, you're going to take 2 off your dice.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So you've overpushed your character, so you're going to start losing dice. However, you're really 4 points over. So let's say you go to a defensive roll.
Okay.
You're going to lose 4 dice off your defensive roll. You're going to lose 1 dice for every point you're over on your EP.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it can help you kill something. It can help you do an activation. It can help you take an objective marker. It can do a lot of things for you, but it can also really hurt you at the end of the turn.
Gotcha.
And at the end of the turn, you're going to take off as much EP from your character as your stat.
Okay.
So if you have 5 EP on you, let's say, and you have 4 as your stat, you're going to have 1 on you, so you're going to be tired the next round, so you're not going to be able to do as much.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, so you can push them, but then you got the disadvantages afterwards of you doing that.
Of what could it do?
Gotcha. Now for EP, when you use them up, okay, what happens to them? How do you replenish your EP at the next round?
When the turn is done, at the end of the round,
Yeah.
you'll pull off the EP, as much EP as you have on your character, as your stat.
As your stat.
As
so
your
if your
stat.
stat's 4, you pull off
4
EP.
EP. If it was
As your
5, you
stat.
pull off 5.
But what happens when you amp up and you're over your actual stat? Your stat's 5, you amped up to 7. At the end of the turn, 5 drops off, but you still have 2 left for the next round over,
Correct.
right? So
Right.
you're basically still tired, but you still could do 3 more if you had 5.
You can still do some stuff.
Yeah.
You can still walk. You can still charge. But your abilities are going to get less and less.
Right, unless you decide to one turn amp up, double your EP, which is the limit, right?
Right.
It drops off 5, but you still have another 5, so you're still already tied to the next turn. The only way you do is amp it even more, but sooner or later, by that time, you're just going to be too tired. People going to hit you left and right.
At some point, you're going to be maxed out, and you're going to be losing dice.
Right. But I guess basically when you want to amp up, it basically means go for the kill.
Go for the kill.
Right.
That's when you're going for the jugular.
So we're going to talk about attributes and skills in this game, but first we're going to go over the character card really quick. Now, Adam already did a video on this, but we're just going to go over it really quick here. So,
Great.
Adam, go for it.
So on the card itself, on the top left, you're going to see the renown points. That's how many points it's going to cost you to field your model. Then you've got your awareness, form, and essence, which we just spoke about. Onto the left of the card, you're going to see the different stats a character has. And we'll be showing these in a video of when we actually do the battle report. So not going to worry about them too much, but you've got your movement in inches, your melee skill number. So for the Minotaur one, for this one, you have a form of 5. Your melee is 6, so you're going to roll 5 dice trying to get 6s or less, because that's your melee skill. You have your armor, which gives you reroll to your defenses, to your defense. Your defense roll, which is how you block combat. Range, which is your range skill, of course. Initiative, which determines who goes first in the round. And then exhaustion points, which we covered earlier in the video. So on the bottom of the card is weapons. This one has a battle axe, which costs 2 exhaustion points, has a threat range of 1 inch, which is how far away you can be away from a target and still hit them, a bonus value of 2, and this one has a special ability called Vicious, which lets you get criticals on a 1 or a 2. On the back of the card itself are a character's skills, the exhaustion points, and a description of them.
Hey Adam, looking at this card here, I see the circles. Those are the main attributes that we're going to be using in this game when you're playing Parallax. Now, why are there filled-in circles and not filled-in circles? That's in the cards, but it's not part of the quick start rules. But I'm seeing them here. We better explain it because they're going to see it when they play.
So there's two types of circles inside of the. Let's use form for example. There's 5 yellow circles and 3 black circles. The yellow circles are actually what you're going to be filling in when you take damage and how many dice you're going to be rolling. The black circles are your character's maximum attribute. So when you're building your own character or when you're rolling dice, that's the maximum dice you will ever be able to roll for that character. So the Minotaur, for example, has a possibility of rolling 8 dice, whereas the Hadjin, for example, would never be able to roll more than 5 dice.
So that's basically, a quick rundown of the character card, and then you can see more about that in the other video on the Kickstarter or on the website.
Correct.
I believe. And also, these cards is, again, beta cards. It might be redesigned. It might not be, yellow circles or whatever later on.
Correct.
Depends. We're trying to fix it so that it flows better with the eye and more understandable.